Are we live again? Okay. Jeez. Are we live? Yeah. Okay. We're back. Sorry. OBS crashed. Stupidly. Is anybody in here? Ugh. Just aligning in practice? Yeah, Jesus. Evander King not playing good. Hello, good sir. Thank you for bearing with me. OBS crashed, so my stream went down. We will be back to Minecraft in just a minute. Appreciate everybody who's coming out. All right. Looks like nothing's really going on right now, so let's go back, play some Minecraft, see if there are any updates in the near future. Give people a minute to get back here because I know my stream crashed. Still working on this. Still a bit of a work in progress, the streaming life. But I'm hoping to do it during the playoffs. Just, watch-alongs and the like. Probably have games going at the same time as well. Yeah. If you hear little grunts and groans, that is my 8-month-old. He is very interested to see what he thinks about the deadline. We'll go to him for additional correspondence. Big Avs fan, what do you think? They make any more moves before the deadline? That's an interesting question, because if I was them, I would. Ooh, there's a villager there. But I don't know if they feel the need to. It's one of those things where they're like so good, maybe they just feel like, why even rock the boat? And like make a move, like why make a move to make a move if we don't have to? You know what I mean? They don't really have a glaring need, so like you can kind of just be pretty patient if you're the Avalanche. I don't think that they're in a good spot. Like I would just hold on to them. Thoughts on the Garland, Stanley, Perry, and Carlson trades? Cool. Yeah, we'll go through all the trade thoughts, but as a Caps fan, I will give my thoughts on the Carlson trade first, which is I hate it so much. Ducks won that trade by a mile. I know Carlson is an unrestricted free agent, but like if you're the Caps, you should figure that you can bring him back on an extension, and the trade to me signifies that maybe they were not that close. And that means that, it's probably gone. He'll probably sign another contract elsewhere. I don't love that, and I also just think in general you could have gotten more for him in a trade. I referenced earlier, Colton Parayko was rumored to potentially be going to the Sabres for a first and redeem Mertka, which would have been insane to me because Colton Parayko's not been very good recently, and John Carlson's an elite defenseman. I know that he doesn't have term on his deal, but I think you could have gotten more for him. The Connor Garland trade for Columbus. I don't necessarily. I like the player fit for Columbus, is what I'll say. I think if it wasn't for that huge contract extension, I would completely see the vision there. I mean, Columbus does need some scoring help, so Garland helps with that. But I don't necessarily, just ringing the bell for fun, think that that's a. I wouldn't have taken on that contract. I don't recall offhand what they gave up for him, but I don't necessarily love that for them, even though I see the vision. Corey Perry trade for Tampa, that's fine. They know him. It was a second round pick, not that much. The Stanley trade, I assume you're going to put Stanley along with Luke Shen, since they both kind of got traded in the same sort of deal. I don't know what Buffalo's doing there. I do not think that those two guys are very good. I'll say it lightly. And as other people have said, to pivot from, just scrolling Twitter just to see if there's any updates, but there are not. To pivot from Colton Parayko to those two guys, I don't necessarily think that fills the same hole. And that's also kind of why I don't like the Carlson trade, because if you're going to trade John Carlson and Buffalo's expressed desire to upgrade with a right-handed shot. Why not offer Carlson for the package that they could have got, that the Blues could have gotten for Parayko? 28 second, 26 third for Garland. I don't hate that. The second round is a little deceiving because it's in 2028. As a general rule of thumb, by the way, picks are less valuable the further away that they are. So like a 2028 second rounder is not as valuable as a 2026 second rounder. So I don't hate that for the Columbus Blue Jackets. Again, the contract that he signed is a bit worrying because I think it takes him to, let me actually pull up Puckpedia, just see how long he's extended for, to what age. No. Can't click. Buddy, I can't click. No, let me go back. Garland. Oh, he signed for. His extension kicks in. He just signed an extension, kicks in until 2032, and he will be 35. That is rough for a oft injured kind of speedy scoring winger. Like I don't necessarily love that for Columbus, but again, the value you gave up is not terrible, so whatever. And Columbus is in a weird spot. They're always kind of in a weird spot of they're never quite good enough to be like, we need to push the chips in and go for it. And they're never quite bad enough where it's like they should 100% fire sale. Or at least they haven't been recently. Obviously, a few years ago when they got Fantilli, they were that bad. But they're always kind of just like in the muck. And you don't really want to be there, in my opinion. Just bouncing my kid. So, I mean, this is the thing, is when you're a team that's like kind of in no man's land, which the Blue Jackets kind of are, the Caps kind of are. Not to bring us back to the Caps, but they're my team, so I speak about them mostly. When you're a team that's kind of in the muck, it's important to be able to recognize who you are and what you should be doing about your situation in life. That's why I don't mind the Caps being sellers, but like everybody has to have a price. Like you're not in a position, as the Caps say, to like just give away players for not that much of a return. Like if you're going to trade John Carlson, then get a package back for him that makes people say like, okay, well, you have to trade that you have to make that trade. Make it a sword here. But I don't think that's what I don't think they got that. I think they got a nice package. I think it's like a package that, wait, there's a spear? Again, I have not played Minecraft in so long. I've completely no idea what anything is, but yeah, I didn't look at the John Carlson package, that what the Caps got in return for him, and go like, oh, like you have to take that deal. That's not the impression that I got. Let me move these things around. Let's talk about some of the other big trades. Obviously, this is going back a long, long way, but the Panarin trade was probably the biggest one we're going to see all day. Or I would have said, probably. I really liked that deal for the Rangers. I didn't quite understand it for the LA Kings because kind of on the same vein, the LA Kings, I think, are a team that doesn't understand who they are and where they are. And like the Pacific Division's wide open, right? It's the worst division in hockey. Like, quite frankly, that's why the Ducks wanted to go for it and get John Carlson. But the LA Kings are not in a position, in my opinion, where they're realistically that big of a challenger for the Pacific. It's kind of, in my opinion, Edmonton and the Ducks. So making that big of a trade, to me, is just kind of odd. And I'm going to see if I can steal one person's bed. No, no, let me sleep. Damn you. Damn you. Yeah, buddy. I can... Stole my bed. But the LA Kings are just, like, not in a position where... Hold on, I gotta hold my kid. Come here. Come here. You want to talk about the LA Kings? But yeah, the Kings are not in a position where I think that they're really a threat to make a deep playoff run. Maybe they think that with adding Panarin they are, but I just disagree vehemently. Sorry, I gotta adjust him. I get it. You're adding firepower. Like, it would have made sense for the Caps, who were rumored to be in on Panarin. Let's update this really quick. Sounds like the Hurricanes are working on a move for a bottom six forward. But like, I don't know how much this moves the needle for the Kings, but I do understand their logic. Thinking that, hey, if we have another huge scoring winger, another big time scoring winger, we might have a chance to win in this weak division. I don't mind it for the Ducks, who have kind of had a little bit less playoff success recently, wanting to go for it, especially with a young core. Like, I'm a big believer of, you have to learn how to win, and you have to teach a young core of players how to win. But like, for the LA Kings, it's like, is Artemi Panarin really what's like, not having Artemi Panarin was really what's holding you back from being able to get past the Edmonton Oilers? Like, I don't think so. We're just gonna kind of chill here for night. We'll just kind of chill, do a little mining, a little crafting. Carolina Hurricanes, the recent news that they are looking to make a move for a bottom six forward. Sorry, there's fire trucks going by outside my building, but the news that they're making a move for the bottom six makes sense to me. They're one of those teams. I don't know if anybody saw my kids touching my hand. If anybody saw the, who are the contenders, who are the pretenders, the Hurricanes are borderline contenders. I think if they make one more good add to their defense, to their defense or their goalies, they would have a good shot. I actually think that they could be a sleeper team to add a guy like Binnington or a guy like Bobrovsky. That could really put them over the top. But other than that, like, don't just... I'm another big proponent of, don't just acquire players to acquire players. Like, if you don't need if you're not filling a big need, don't just like go out and acquire another forward to kind of fill your need. Hold on. Okay, sorry. I got a notification that the stream health is not going on. And if anybody's in here, please let me know if there are any issues with the stream, if you can't hear me, if you can't see me, but it looks like people are in here. Well, my kid's on my lap. I'm just going to refresh, look at Twitter. Oh, Leafs are finalizing a deal involving Bobby McMahon. I did not think... Awesome, thank you, Smokey. I did not think that the Leafs would actually be able to move him. I'm going to be very interested to see what the return for McMahon is. Yeah. I agree. Do you think there's a chance we get a 2 seasons? That's been our biggest need for a few years. Streams fine on my end. I assume you mean by you're talking about the Avs burner. I do think that they could stand to add a second line center. I would be interested in seeing... trying to think who's out there who really fills a need that you don't have. Because I almost said, like, maybe Trocheck, but he's not really a center. I was going to say Lawton, but, you kind of already have Brock Nelson. Like, why would you trade for discount Brock Nelson when you already have the actual one, original flavor? It would be interesting to see if the Avs could add. Oh, meant for the Hurricanes. Oh. Sorry. I got you confused with Smokey. He's an Avs fan. For the Hurricanes, a 2C. Scott Lawton could be an interesting add for the Hurricanes. I don't necessarily know if he's a second line center, but Trying to think who else is on the market as a second line center. There's not there's not a lot of them out there, like true second line centers. You know what I mean? But I kind of like Lawton actually to the Hurricanes, because good defensive, good two-way guy, still good character guy. You've got good scoring, and you're always just like out Corseeing and out X goals everybody. So add a little stability. I don't mind that, especially because I feel like I feel like Tulski's always good at just like knowing his value like ads and not like overpaying for somebody. And I don't think you're going to overpay for Scott Lawton. But I'm going to be interested to see who else could be available. Vinny Trocheck could be an ad for the Hurricanes too, if they're interested. Ooh, wait, hold on. No, I thought that it was saying that Scott Lawton's going to the Kraken. By the way, the Kraken extending Jordan Eberle, kind of like that. Well, let's check the Athletics Twitter update. Deline Caps react to maintain asking price for Ristolainen. I actually, I don't know if you can see, but the Flyers are maintaining their asking price for Rasmus Ristolainen. This is one of those instances where I don't necessarily think you need to like be strong in your price. Rasmus Ristolainen to me is just like a depth defenseman at this point. Like, take what you can get for him. Let's go back to Twitter really quick, and then I'm going to put my kid down, and we can go back to Minecraft again. All right, looks good there. All right, can you go back in your chair, bud? Can you go back in your chair? Yeah, there you go, bud. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Now it's... Sorry about that. Baby is not happy, but let's get back to Minecraft while we wait and see what Bobby McMahon fetched. No, still nothing. Gonna be interesting to see what he gets. All right, let's keep looking around. Capitals trade confirms this is Ovi's last year in the NHL. I don't know that it confirms it, but it could confirm it because there's two ways to think about this, in my opinion. La Casa, either what you say is true and they're preparing for life out after Ovechkin. Sorry, buddy. They're preparing for life out after Alex Ovechkin, loading up on assets, which makes sense. Or they know he's coming back, and they're like, well, we're not going to be good this year. Like, let's get assets to potentially make a move, because they've been very obvious all year. Like, we need another, scoring threat to go with him. And so maybe this is a move to be like, hey, like people are theorizing he'll come back, after the summer, and like, hey, we just got another asset that we can flip to get another top 6 scorer. Awesome, got a bed. Let's kill the zombie. Kill the zombie. Yay, got the Monster Hunter achievement. So I think it could go either way. I personally actually don't think it's Ovi's last year, just because there haven't been enough, I feel like there would be a little bit more fanfare, especially if the Caps knew. Oh, and I died. Sarah Velli just said, Colorado for McMahon. I am so bad at Minecraft. First rule of this chat is we do not trust Frank Saravelli. And did I just lose everything? Because, oh, it's down there. I'll get it. Yeah, buddy. I'm... I gotta hold my kid. But... So sorry, the Minecraft's gonna be on the back burner. But, Colorado for Bobby McMahon. Let's see. Yeah, that's all he said is just that the trade is to Colorado for Bobby McMahon. We'll see what happens there. If I'm predicting what Bobby McMahon fetches for the Maple Leafs, I'm gonna say it will be a second plus a prospect maybe, because the trade prices have been just ridiculous all day. Like that's again another reason, not to bring it back to the Caps all the way, but why I'm upset about the John Carlson deal is just like, have you seen what people are getting traded for these days? Like it is kind of nuts, like what the asking prices are. But we'll see. I don't actually like a Bobby McMahon trade for Colorado. I'll be honest, because like I said earlier, I don't think that they needed to do anything, and I feel like Bobby McMahon, like I just mentioned, is probably going to go for a good amount of capital. Like, why are we giving up a lot of assets for Bobby McMahon? Is he really the savior, the thing that's going to put Colorado over the edge? He doesn't move the needle enough to me, in my opinion, for a team like Colorado. Like, you can get like Nick Dowd yesterday got traded for a 2 and a 3 and a throw-in prospect. Like, that's the kind of like, why are you giving up big assets for Bobby McMahon? Like, if I'm a team like Colorado, I'm holding on to assets and I'm just trying to see if I can get like some like decent depth guys, because that's really all you need. You have all of the major pieces that you need to win a Stanley Cup. It's okay, buddy. Sorry, the Minecraft is on hold while I hold my kid, but we'll keep looking and updating Twitter here. Yeah, Anaheim Ducks fans are happy about this deadline. Another trade I didn't really talk about was the Michael McCarron trade with the Minnesota Wild. Again, another guy who that trade was ridiculous in my opinion. Like the amount of value that they got for Michael McCarron. Like these like depth fourth line guys are just like netting so much like in trades. That's why I'm happy that my team's a seller right now, but I'm unhappy that they traded away one of their best assets for like not a ridiculous return. Like hold on to your good players if you don't have to trade them, which the Caps didn't with John Carlson, and only trade them if somebody is desperate enough to pay a hefty price. McCarron. So we're about an hour 10 minutes away now. Let's see if there's any updates. Doesn't look like it. But let's go and look at some of the other big trades that happened earlier. I talked about Russellini, talked about Foligno. They have had struggles with defensive things. Helps. Willing to bet it's for Ross Colton. If you need to like help Ross Colton and shelter him that much, like why are you keeping Ross Colton? It would be my question. And also like I don't know. Look, if you're getting Bobby McMahon for like nothing, like a 3rd round pick or something, or a 4th round pick, fine. If that's what they ended up paying, then I'm going to eat my words. But I just worry that they're going to be giving up more than that. Mike Bardner. Robert Thomas. Can't imagine he gets traded at this point. Yeah, I didn't think Robert Thomas was going to get traded. I wouldn't. Again, like St. Louis Blues. Why are we trading Robert Thomas unless somebody gives us a ridiculous offer? But he quit stroke Gorman there. By the way, with Foligno getting traded, I'm wondering, like this article is saying here, could Connor Bedard be next in line to be the captain for the Chicago Blackhawks? I worry that might be too much for a young kid that much. Like, I know that it happened for Sid, but no offense to Connor Bedard, he has not been Sid to start his career. There's a lot of focus and a lot of noise on Bedard. And, thoughts of like he hasn't quite lived up to the generational hype. And so I don't know if giving him the captaincy is the best thing for him. But I also don't know how people will react if he is not made the captain. Like, are people going to say, like, that's like an indication that he's, not the leader, not well liked in that locker room? I have no idea. It's a tough spot. Man, Connor Bedard, like, here's the thing about the Blackhawks, and I said earlier, I think you got to learn how to win. You look at the Blackhawks right now versus the Sharks. The Sharks have Macklin Celebrini, who is just exceeding all expectations, and I love Celebrini, by the way. I'm just going to say I'm a huge stan of his. But they're a team that's clearly trending in the right direction, has a good path, and it's kind of obvious what they need to do, right? Like, they need defensive help. They could use another goalie, but I don't even think that that's a big need. They need actual good defensemen. That's why I said in my preview video, like, go for Dougie Hamilton. I know it's kind of a short-term fix, but he's a guy that is young enough still that you can just kind of build a core around. But the Blackhawks, on the other hand, are just kind of hemorrhaging, like, players every deadline. Obviously, they traded Dickinson. Now they traded Foligno. And then they also traded Connor Murphy. So it's just like the constant revolving door of players in and out and in and out. I just don't know what the Blackhawks, like, future is, and I don't feel great about all of their decisions. I don't feel great about their prospects. Like, the Sharks have, Misa coming up, and they just drafted, God, his name is escaping me, the prospect last year who I really liked. They've got good prospects, like, coming up in their system. They have Askarov, who's a good young goalie. Obviously, the Blackhawks have Knight. I just don't know if... Buddy, stop that. I just don't know if the Sharks are, like, in a great position going forward, at least not to the same level that I think the Blackhawks are, just quite frankly. Do the Caps make more moves? The great Baden. Interesting question, because it depends on what you mean by more moves, like more moves to sell or more moves to buy, because from what we've heard, they are interested in making a move to add a top six winger, which makes sense. But I think they're only adding a guy I'll throw his name out, Jordan Kyrou, a guy who has, term, who's going to be a piece for a while. As far as selling goes, I think they should. I've heard Brandon Duhaime is a name that people are kicking the tires around. I've heard Trevor Van Riemsdyk is a guy that, like, might be made expendable by Cole Hudson coming up potentially this year. I don't know how much that changes now that you've traded John Carlson, so maybe you need that extra body. That's the kind of move I would have liked to see them make. Who else are you going to trade, though, is the thing. Like, you don't have a lot of, like, vets on expiring contracts that you would want to get rid of. Like, even Carlson, I know he's expiring, but, like, I would have wanted to keep him, and I think you probably could have kept him for, like, not a terrible extension. Like, so the roundabout answer is, do I think that they're going to sell? No, because what else do they have to sell, to be honest? And is there anything else that people are going to pay, like, a considerable price to get, I guess is what I would say. I don't know. But if I was the Caps, I probably would have just stood pat, seen if you could make a hockey move, not Connor Garland. No offense to the Blue Jackets fans out there, but I did not want any part of that. The contract was an issue. But regardless, the Caps sold. Let's actually check in, see if there's been any update on the trades, because I know Bobby McMahon was looking to be traded. Yeah, it breaks my heart seeing John Carlson 74 in orange. Nick Delorier to Carolina. Cool. cool for Carolina. Nick Delorier is a player, like on their bottom four. That's fine to me. As long as you didn't pay any sort of a price for it. Don't mind that. Let's see. Still no update on Bobby McMahon. Let's just refresh. Hawks Rangers working on a Derek Pouliot trade. Flyers are receiving a late conditional round pick. Yeah, that's exactly what I would do if I was the Hurricanes. I like that. Hawks Rangers working on a Derek Pouliot trade. Cool. Don't know why. Yeah, it's one of those trades that's just like, sure, you're doing it. Let's take another look over on the Athletic. Detroit and Montreal are remaining patient. Yeah, I'm surprised that Patrick Laine hasn't been traded yet. It feels like that's been in the air since basically the Olympics. Maybe they just can't find a buyer for him, which would make sense. Yeah, makes sense, right, buddy? What up, Jonah? But yeah, I would have thought Patrick Laine would get traded. Montreal, another team. If Binnington and Bobrovsky were out there, be aggressive. Go for one of them. I do think that those could be good ads for the Maple Leafs. What am I talking about? Canadiens, as well as potentially making a move for a defenseman. Yeah. What up, Henry? It's my son Henry chatting in. He thinks that Montreal should make a move. Detroit also, what the heck are you waiting for? At least Buffalo, poised to break their playoff drought, is making moves. Detroit, Stevie Y, bro, isn't your job kind of in flux, your job security? Be aggressive. Go make a move. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna put you back down in a minute. You're just reaching for everything, aren't you, buddy? Yeah, but like the Athletic says, I don't know why Detroit and Montreal are being so patient. And I appreciate everybody bearing with me through all the technical issues and my kid being here. Flyers trade Delorier for a 2027 conditional 7th round pick. Yeah, fine, whatever. That's cool. John Carlson joins the show. Dang. Doesn't look like there's. Yeah. All right, putting you back down, but yeah, it looks like we're still waiting on an update on McMahon. I think the Rangers should be tearing everything apart, give the few young players a chance to play. Jonah, completely agree with you. You keep dropping your binky and yelling about it. Yeah, Jonah, I completely agree with you about the Rangers. Everybody not named Shesterkin and Fox should be tradable. Okay. You are not happy if I don't hold you, are you? Sorry, folks. Minecraft is gonna have to wait because the kid is just gonna cry if I don't hold him. But yeah, for the Rangers, I am working on my Cancel the Rangers video that's coming out probably this weekend or on Monday at the latest. But yeah, the Rangers' downfall has been kind of insane considering what was it 2 years ago that they were the President's Trophy winners, and now they're just a complete shell of themselves. Buddy, you keep throwing away your toy and then getting mad that it's not in your hand. I don't know what you're doing. But, yeah, the Rangers, God, Chris Drury. I don't know what Chris Drury is doing at any time, to be honest. Hold on. I'm actually going to change my my stream settings really quick. As a Rangers fan, it sucks. Yeah, I am one of those weirdos. In that I am. Hold on, I'm gonna move Twitter to the front and just kind of move it over because so people can just kind of see it. I am a weirdo because I'm a Caps fan, but I was born in New Jersey, so I'm a Caps Knicks fan, and I also know that James Dolan is the worst. Yeah, I know. Sharks need a defenseman. Absolutely, they do. I completely agree. I said in my preview video, trade for Dougie Hamilton. You got the cap space. You got the assets. Like, learn to win. Build around some like decently, not too old, decently priced guys. Use that cap space for something. Learn to win. Something that the Blackhawks have not done at all for Connor Bedard. Sharks are very fun. I agree. Sharks are one of my West Coast teams that I like. Buddy. Sorry, I gotta hold this because the kid is just grabbing at every wire he can see. I would like to see the Caps dump more players and more guys, and Hershey can get some chances. I don't know what guys in Hershey we're really looking at as like that's the guy that we gotta give him a chance. Like Marushenko's down there, but he isn't really stuck. We already took up Frank Chesley, I guess. I don't know who else is down there for the Caps. Really, is Crystal down there? I guess Crystal would be the guy then that we would be interested in seeing him play for the Caps. I would like to see that as well. But the guy that we're mainly waiting for is Cole Hudson. Trade deadline is not over. It is over in an hour. We still have an hour to go. An hour to go to see if there will be any more huge trades like the ones that happened in the middle of the night. You're just grabbing everything, aren't you, bud? All right. Ooh, a lot of new posts. A lot of new posts on Twitter. Let's see. Canucks claim Curtis Douglas. That's nothing. Philadelphia claims Luke Glendening. Okay, good job, Philly. You just claimed one of the worst players in the NHL. Nyquist, former 8th overall pick being traded here. Yeah, Derek Pouliot is weird. Weird career for him. Delorier and Pouliot trades with an hour to go at the deadline. Yeah, Mike Partner, completely agree with you there, buddy. Like, why can't we have the big fun trades like during the day of the deadline? All right, Rangers, Braden Schneider's camp. Braden Schneider could be a nice like depth add for a team. No, buddy, stop. Sorry, hold on. Kid, stop that. Stop it. You're grabbing everything. Mike Partner saying Derek Pouliot, he's still playing pro hockey. Yeah, I know. I thought he retired. Oh, come here. Yeah. He is a cute baby. The problem is he's a wormy guy. Caps traded for Liljegren? Why? Like, legitimately, why? Why would you trade for Liljegren? Makes no sense. If they gave up anything of value, like, or acquire, why would you acquire Timothy Liljegren? He's terrible. Oh God! If I see that he was traded for like anything other than like a conditional 6th rounder, I'm gonna crash out. I thought they would claim Holtz to see what he can do for top flight teams, but yeah, he's probably a bust. Yeah, I would have liked to have seen a team give Holtz a chance. I think he's a pretty good player. But yeah, obviously there's not a lot of interest. Yeah, buddy. Let me find it. Oh. Here's your binky. Here you go. You're just throwing everything on the ground, buddy. Timothy Liljegren. Why? What did? God. Like, I'm sorry, I'm getting it. It's right here, actually. Jack Fleming from Chris Johnston just says that they're requiring him. Doesn't say for what. Yeah, Abba. Yeah, my son Henry is not happy about that news. The Caps acquiring Timothy Liljegren, and I'm sorry that I'm kind of like getting irrationally angry about that, but like, why the heck would you trade for Timothy Liljegren? Like, just like Cole Hudson come out. Timothy Liljegren, mobile puck moving defenseman, didn't exactly need all. Yeah, like, how old is he? 26. Like, I guess he's younger, but like, he's not good. If you play as 6-man D or 7th, yeah, exactly. So I'm interested to see what they gave up for him. But yeah, Chris Johnston is the one who is breaking it. We will see what the compensation is. Liljegren sucks. Yes, he does. Apologies for my son's constant interruptions. He is very excited to see what is going to happen for the trade deadline. Yeah, I'm interested to see the return for the Sharks, because honestly, if it's like a big return for him, if they give up anything of that much value, I'm gonna be pissed. Yeah, he's teething right now. Little guy is teething. What does Liljegren's contract look like? Let's actually pull that up. That's a good question. Let's look at Timothy Liljegren. He's a tell the baby a bedtime story. Haha, if only it was that easy. So it looks like he's going to be a UFA. I guess the Caps could sign him to an extension, but why? Again, like, now that I know he's going to be a UFA, like, ooh, baby. Ooh, we've got some big stuff. Frank Saravelli, St. Louis Blue, and Elliot Friedman both saying finalizing a trade to move Captain Braden Shen to the Isles. That I like. That I like for the Islanders, because he's Charlie brother. Oh, because he's... Wait, no. That's Charlie Lindgren's. That's Ryan Lindgren. Timothy Liljegren is no relation to Charlie Lindgren. Buddy. Yeah. No. No relation. If you're a Joe Beninati watcher, Timothy Liljegren and Charlie Lindgren, no relation. It looks like Rono, who I follow, so he's been an analytics darling, which I guess makes sense for the Caps. They're very analytics focused. I just haven't seen it from Liljegren. And speaking of not seeing it, I'll talk in a minute about another trade that I didn't understand this morning. Juracek from the Wild to who's he traded to? I'm blanking right now. But I remember thinking, to the Flyers for Bobby Brink. If you're a Flyers fan, I apologize. That was some of the dumbest things I've ever seen. Yes, Bobby Brink. Thank you, Jonah. I have not seen it yet with David Juracek, and the fact that he's been traded twice before the age of 23 is really concerning to me. Bobby Brink is only 24. He is at least a middle six forward. And on Minnesota, like, I think that is a need for them. So I do not understand why Philadelphia made that trade, other than the fact that Danny Briere is kind of terrible at his job. Yeah. I think at some point later in the season, maybe in the offseason, I'll do a tier list of NHL GMs. But, like, Danny Briere, baby, what is you doing? What is you doing? Okay. Can we get like actual trade compensation for either Shen or for Liljegren? I would love to see that. Aw, thank you. The baby is cute. He did nap earlier, so it is fun. Ah, what do you think, buddy? Should the Caps have traded for Timothy Liljegren? Oh, now you don't have anything to say, huh? I want you to contribute. There are drapes in our room, and he just keeps grabbing at the drapes. I would rather have Vincent Iorio than Timothy Liljegren. 100% agree with you, Jonah. 100% agree. I was very upset when they allowed Iorio to go. He's with the Rangers now, I believe. I've always liked him. I think he's good. And again, like, I would rather have him play than Timothy Liljegren. Yeah, I know. You're not happy about that. Caps run such a tight ship. All their trades come out of the right field. Yeah. Good thing the Rangers have him. Yeah, good for them. They need something. But, yeah, Caps do run a tight ship. Their trades do kind of come out of nowhere. They've been that way ever since McPhee was here. The one thing I do often get frustrated with the Caps for is that they... Buddy... Here, have this to play with. Jeez. There you go. It's like everything that he wants is something that is good at, like, getting knocked over. John Carlson being traded is crazy for only a first-round pick. I agree, Jonah. I think that's insane, especially because it's a conditional pick. It could be next year's first, when the Anaheim Ducks will probably be better. Especially because, I mentioned this earlier, sorry if I'm repeating myself to people who are here, but the Blues were going to get a first and redeem Murka for Colton Parayko, and the Caps could only get a conditional first and a third for John Carlson, is insane to me. Trade confirmed. Braden Shen is an Islander. Yeah, let's see. Do we have compensation for him or Liljegren? Let's see. 2 years left on a contract. The contract's not bad for Braden Shen. I don't like it. I don't dislike it. Sorry, for the Islanders. I think it's fine. Give me the compensation, for the love of God. Yeah. Parayko's term, though, Carlson is a pure rental. Well, I mean, you can't assume that he's not going to re-sign with Anaheim. Like, they're a good young team. Maybe he likes it out in California, like a lot of people would. Could be a good situation for him to maybe make one more. Okay, you can grab onto that. It could be a good chance for Carlson to have another chance at a deep playoff run before he retires. You know, the Pacific is pretty terrible. Great news for the Sharks to get rid of Liljegren. Yeah. I mean, assuming they get something of value and back for him. If the Caps just traded like I said, a conditional sixth. Florida claims Cole Reinhardt. Oh. If anybody watches Parks and Recreation, where Andy's like, if I have the most lions, like, at the UN, like, I think I'll win. Like, if the goal is to have the most Reinhardts, Florida wins. You're just grabbing at everything, aren't you, buddy? Caps may be able to rehab Liljegren. They usually get D-men to play well. Yeah, that's true. That's a fair point. Again, though, are they, like, you're right. They traded for Justin Sordiff, who everybody thought, like, that was a massive overpay, and he's been fantastic for them. Maybe they do the same with Liljegren, but, like, I'm just never a big proponent of thinking you're smarter than everybody else in the room. Liljegren's bad because he took time away from Dickinson and Shakir. Sharks staff's been subbing them out, but they've been playing well. Yeah, like, yeah, if he's not a big part of your plans, then give, Shakir, give Dickinson more time to play. I agree with that. You can grab onto my headphones. Here. Actually, you want to just hold on to my headphones, buddy? You can just grab. I'm not using these. There's no sound. I feel like Minecraft is just done for right now. I'm just going off of the chat, but yeah, it's a good move in my opinion for the Sharks to get rid of Shakir or get rid of Liljegren. for whatever they can. Ooh, Penguins acquire Elmer Soderblom for a third-round pick. Yeah, that's a good return for Soderblom. Don't mind that for the Red Wings at all. Let's see. Is there anything else new? Soderblom, done deal. Waive his no trade clause. Oh, okay. You're just thrashing around. Okay, hold on 1 second. Gotta go. I gotta drop off the kid with the wife. She wants him. Yeah, he's teething. I'm gonna call Joanna in 15 minutes. Okay, thanks for bearing with me. The baby is gone. McMahon trade isn't confirmed. Bidding war between Oilers, Avs, and Vegas. Shen's confirmed.
Battery 80%.
Of all the players to get into a bidding war over, I don't know why Bobby McMahon is the one. I'm going to move this over really quick because I'm going to get Minecraft back up so we can play that because the baby is now with mommy. Yeah, all right. No, wrong click. Bad click. There it is. Okay. Yeah, why are we getting into a bidding war over Bobby McMahon, over the 1 year wonder Bobby McMahon? Like, good for Toronto. Sell when the price is high, but let's get a bunch of wood. And then we're gonna probably build our house like here. I think that's the move. I like to build my house up elevated. But yeah, like, I never understood why Toronto would want to hold on to Bobby McMahon, like kind of a 1 year wonder. If there's a bidding war for him, again, I'm gonna make a TV reference. If you watch Parks and Recreation, the time the guy was like, "There's suddenly a bidding war for 30 crappy used vans, so like, gotta leverage it." I feel like this is the same way for the Maple Leafs. Like, trade Bobby, leverage a bidding war for your, middle six forward who just randomly decided to have a couple of good years that you developed out of nothing. Like, it's free trade assets. Love to see it. Let's check reload Twitter really quick because I want to see. Yeah, Brayton Shen. For what? Oh, I missed Nick Dowd. If you're a Vegas fan in here, first of all, screw you. But no, I'm just kidding. But you got a good one in Nick Dowd. He's awesome. Yeah, Mike Bartner is probably going to crash out over the Islanders trading for Brayden Schenn. Again, interested to see what the return is going to be there. Let's check the Athletic and see. Nick Waugh is trading Timothy Liljegren. Tell me what the trade return is for Timothy Liljegren so I can know if I should be upset or not. Oh, cool. This is this is a nice little place. This is a nice little area in the Minecraft world that we can kind of make our own. And also, let me kill this sheep, get some wool. I'd like more wool. Let's see if we can't get some wool and make a bed. So how do you guys rate this trade deadline so far? Do you think it's been a good one? Do you think it's been kind of an one? Obviously, I don't think it's been a good one because my team just traded John Carlson for very little to nothing. Rangers trade Trocheck and where's Trocheck going? It's happening. I don't see Vinny Trocheck trade. Do we know to where and do we know who said it? Let's take a look. Sounds like nothing close with the Oilers. Understandable. Oilers don't have anything to trade, even though they do need a lot. And as I said in my preview video, the Oilers do have to go for it every year because Connor McDavid, you only have him for 2 more years. And if you don't win a cup in the next 2 years, he should leave. Vinny Trocheck, where is he going? Where are you going, Vinny? Ooh, we're just going to do a little calm tree cutting, a little calm logging. What? I've not played Minecraft in so long. Is that a cow? Why does it look so weird? Is that a cow? Is that a yak? No, that's a cow. Weird. It's a weird looking cow, man. All right. Rangers traded Trocheck. I still do not see the Vinny Trocheck trade. I don't want to say that you're lying to me, Jonah, but I don't see it yet. Let's see. Come on. Braden Shen trade, yeah. Matthew Joseph, contract terminated. Okay, no, I'm not seeing it. Carolina? Ooh, Trocheck to Carolina. Another reunion. Sneaky trade for Carolina. Don't mind it. If it's true, I don't see it. But once I do, and I do believe you, Jonah. I do like that for Carolina. So long as the value is not exorbitant, of course. I still don't have enough wool to make a bed. Is there no more sheep? Oh, there's another sheep. Awesome. I can make a bed now. Yeah. Oh. Couldn't find my chest for a second there. Bah. Okay. That. No. Why am I so bad at it? I can't click. No, I can't make a bed. Damn it. It all has to be the same color. God damn. Carolina acquires Vinny Trocheck. Again, as has been the case for the Lilligan trade and for the Braden Shen trade. Interesting to see for what? For what? Could be wrong. Yeah, I don't see it yet. So many false reports. It's not like I disbelieve you. I just haven't seen it yet. Nick Delorier, Elmer Soderblom, Matthew Joseph, Braden Shen. I still don't see the returns on either of them, and I don't see Vinny Trocheck to anybody, let alone Carolina. Would be nice. Would be nice to have a trade, though. God, would it be? Oh, all right. Let's see if we can't find another freaking sheep on Minecraft while we wait to see if there's anything else happening. There's another 35 minutes till the deadline. I don't know how I gotta get back up there. Just gonna break this with this. But yeah, interesting to see who else is getting traded in the next few minutes. Next 30 minutes or so. Man, it's been such a weird year, honestly, in the NHL. Sabres are good. I feel like that's the ultimate, like, what dimension are we living in? And, like, legitimately good, too. Like, they're... Ooh, Yes. No. No. Yeah. Now I can build. Now I can build a bed. No. Now let me build a bed. Da da. Yes. I have a bed. I really said that in a very creepy way. But and I had a freaking sword. What the heck? But I am going to need a new axe. If anybody plays Minecraft, by the way, what the heck is the spear? No idea what that does. Alright. Let's keep clearing. We're just going to clear the top up here. Try and clear off all of the trees up here, because this is where we're going to build our house. Our little hidey hole. Like that. No. No. That. Jump up and go down. Okay. Waiting to see what else happens in the last 30 minutes. Get a pause real quick. Just do a quick reload. See if there's been any updates on any of those trades. Dead trade line. Yeah, true. Tell me for what? For what, though? I must know. I must know what these trades are for. Anything? Yeah, still don't have any updates on the Lilligan or the Braden Shen trade. Blackhawks trade Aiden Thompson for Derek Pouliot. Yes, Derek Pouliot still in the NHL. Ooh, okay, we have the return. First, third, and a prospect. Return for Braden Shen. Ooh, let me think. Braden Shen in the year of our Lord 2026 for a first, a third, and a prospect. That seems like a good deal for the St. Louis Blues. And I once again, I know he has term. The Caps traded a top-line defenseman for not much less than that. George is getting frustrated. It's a Seinfeld reference in case anybody gets it. Yeah. First, a third, and a prospect. Yeah. Matthew Darsh, I've liked the job you've done so far, but my goodness, brother. Like, it's Braden Shen. Like, it's Braden Shen. You did not need to give up that much. Dear God. I swear to God. The Caps are going to trade like a third for Timothy Liljegren, and I'm going to crash the F out. Good trade, though, for the Blues. Getting a first and a third for 34-year-old. I know it's their captain, but, like, you know, they like a lot of other teams, understand where they are, you know, in their life cycle, and they're just going to load up on picks. The Blues are in a good position to get, you know, one of the big three in the draft, McKenna, Stenberg, or Veerhoff. So I like what they're doing. The Rangers, however, not doing anything. So a little surprising in that regard, but I will break down why I think the Rangers are so terrible in my Cancel the Rangers video coming up. Mike Bartner was crashing out saying if they didn't get a first, it would be horrible. Giving up a first is wild. Yeah, Mike Bartner has got to be pissed. First, a third. No, they can turn this guy. Yeah, 30 minutes. Oh, Mike. It's like 15 9/11s. Oh, poor bastard. Yeah, that's not a trade I would have made. That's a rough one. That's a rough one from the Islanders. Again, like I said, Matthew Darsh, he's done a really good job so far. Like I thought he did great in the Noah Dobson trade, but like a first, a third, and a prospect for Braden Shen. God almighty. Ugh. Make it make sense. And make the caps make sense. Like, how did you only get a first and a third, a conditional first and a third for John Carlson, who's, like, actually good? Again, sorry to keep bringing it back to the Caps. They are my team, so. If they traded, like, a Rangers trade? What did they do? Oh, yeah, the Derek Pouliot. The guy who I could have sworn was no longer in the NHL. Completely forgot that he existed for a while there. Good for them. Good for them getting Derek Pouliot. He's still there. He's still playing, still kicking. Good for him. 30 minutes. Under 30 minutes to go. Vinny Trocheck, still not traded. Colton Parayko, not traded. Jordan Binnington, not traded. Sergei Bobrovsky, not traded. Who else do we think could get traded here at the deadline? Throw out your predictions. Who's going to get traded in the last 30 minutes? Is anybody of note going to get traded? Is Bobby McMahon actually going to get traded? They say he's getting traded. They say he's getting traded, but we don't have an actual trade to report quite yet. Let's take a look. Let's reload. Housekeeping, 2027 conditional 7th for Deloria. Yeah, that's the kind of trade you make if you're Bob's having a terrible year. He's not going anywhere. Bob is weird, though. Bob is one of those guys who's just like, every year in the regular season, I'm like, Bob's fallen off. He's done. And then in the playoffs, he just like ascends to a higher level of existence somehow. So if I was, the Senators, if I was the Sabres, and you can get Bob for like not a ton, I would do it. Still don't know what the Caps gave up for Timothy Liljegren. I feel like they're ashamed of it. And they should be, because Timothy Liljegren is terrible. Terrible. Calgary keeps selling. Blake Coleman, Nazem Kadri have not been traded yet for the Flames. They're a team that the Flames have got to just completely strip it down to the studs, in my opinion. Sell off on Kadri, sell off on Blake Coleman, sell off on everybody who isn't, one of their young guys. Hell, if you can get good value for like Connor Zary or Matt Coronato, like I would listen on it. Of course, the dream for them is finding some sucker who will take Jonathan Huberdeau, but if that happened, if some team took Jonathan Huberdeau, they deserve to get fired. They deserve to get fired. Bob, max 5th round pick or an AHL player. I think you could get more than that. Goalies are weird. 2-time Stanley Cup champion. People care about that. Like it's not a team game. He is a pending UFA. Who knows what he's going to do next? Bob is again weird because every year I look and I think he's not that good, and then I look at his resume, and I'm like, oh, he's going to be in the Hall of Fame 100%. Oh, Liljegren, a max 5th round pick and an AHL player. God willing, if it's more than that, like nuts. Nas to Carolina, if my life is yours, Tulsky. I love Tulsky. Like I know I say that as a division rival. He's so good. So I could see them getting Nazem Kadri for like nothing, or Bobby McMahon for like a 5th round pick. He just like Jedi mind controls the other GMs. Carolina's just so good. More people should be like trying to poach coaches and front office people from the Hurricanes. They're just always good. Like perpetually they're good. Like I for those of you who follow me, I'm a big analytics guy, so I knew Tulsky was, very respected in that field, and so when he got the GM job in Carolina, I was like, oh boy, they're gonna be good for a while. Which I'm happy that the Caps are, kind of, they've been investing more into analytics, but I wish their GM was not a Nepo baby. For those of you who don't know, Chris Patrick, their new GM, is the son of Dick Patrick, who's been the team's president for basically since as long as I've been watching them, which is the mid-90s. So Nepo baby GM. At least knows how to count, I guess. Could be worse. Let's refresh real quick. Carlson on ESPN. I was totally naive. Some tough moments. A great position to be in. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Rangers, Devils, Caps, Bruins over the weekend. Expected Drouin going the other way. Jonathan Drouin's another number. Oh, Drouin going from the Islanders to the Blues. Drouin's another guy who I feel like has to get traded every deadline. Another guy who, when his name gets mentioned, I'm always like, oh, he's still playing. Wow. Jonathan Drouin. Remember when he was supposed to be like the next French Canadian superstar? Just completely crapped out. Oh man. All right, 20-ish minutes to go. We still don't know if Bobby McMann's getting traded. Still don't know what the Caps gave up for terrible Timothy Liljegren. Still don't know if Kadri, if Blake Coleman getting traded. Still don't know if Eddie Trocheck's getting traded. Still don't know. Hey, Braden, just down the hall. No updates. Check The Athletic. Blackhawks trade Aiden Thompson for Derek Pouliot. Pouliot's 32. Again, this is why I'm like, oh, he's still playing? It feels like he's been, a fringe AHLer for the last decade, which he kind of has been. And I think that that's what David Jiricek is probably going to turn into. Sorry to Philly. But you traded Bobby Brink, an actual good player, for a guy who's probably who will probably end up playing for you this year because your defense is terrible. And then once you have an actual good defense, he'll never play for you again. What do you think it would take to get Kadri? More than I would have expected, because the prices are just ridiculous. It's going to at least take a first. I know that that's ridiculous, but look at what Braden Shen just returned. Again, that's why I'm not mad at my Caps for being sellers, but I'm mad at the fact that they didn't get more value in a market where people are giving up way too much value. Nazem Kadri in a rational world should be a couple seconds, a second in a prospect. But we're talking about Nazem Kadri could net you a first plus. Bobby McMann could net you a first rounder. I don't know. It's topsy-turvy. Things are crazy. Up is down. Down is up. I hear my boy crying out there. The Islanders. Oh, Mike Bartner crashing out. Dead quiet around the Canucks right now. Honestly, for the Canucks, it's probably a good thing. God, I don't think there's... Who do you think is the worst team to be a fan of? Because right now I would have to say it's the Canucks. Just I don't think there's a team in the NHL who, if I was a fan of that team, I would have less confidence in getting it right. Even if you got the number one pick. If the Blues get the number one pick, I think that they're going to be good. Have you considered the fact that he's my uncle? So in my rational word, he's worth his weight in gold. Ooh, is he really your uncle? Then he's worth all the picks and all the prospects. But yeah, I think if I was drafting the worst teams to be a fan of, Vancouver would be the worst. No direction. Ownership is terrible. If they win the lottery and get McKenna, I feel like they'll screw it up. Last year I would have said Buffalo. Yeah, honestly, the Pagulas do not get enough credit for being shit owners. The Bills are only good because they lucked into Josh Allen. They just I don't know if anybody's a football fan, but over the offseason they fired their coach but kept their GM. Even though their problems for the last few years has been bad roster construction, they actually promoted the GM. The Pagulas are not great owners. And I feel like this year they just kind of lucked into, you know, like a weird. They got a hot goalie in Alex Lyon, and everybody's just kind of like scoring at a ridiculous clip. So like they're winning. I don't know how sustainable it is. A lot going on in St. Louis. Team sniffing around Justin Falk. Red Wings are one of those teams. Not saying they're close or anything. Ooh, Red Wings and Justin Falk would be interesting. That would be spicy by Stevie Y, depending on what he gives up. I would like that. I would like to see it. You know, not a Red Wings fan, but that would be a good that would be a good ad for the Red Wings. Red Wings are a good team. You know, after years of being them and Buffalo have been for years like the teams of, well, they have to be good eventually, and now they finally are. Do I have another one? I gotta make another axe. Ugh, annoying. Give me another axe so I can clear all this stuff. My cousin married my aunt. His cousin married my aunt, so as far as I'm concerned, I could claim it. Ooh, Vancouver pretty easily worse hockey right now. Pickleball also won Sanoff, which is why they had success. Yeah, having good ownership is like the most important thing in sports. I would 100% agree. That's a big reason why I think Vancouver is the worst situation to be a fan of right now. Aquilini is terrible, and he meddles, and he's kind of cheap. Braden Shen trade is terrible for the Islanders. Yeah, I completely agree. Ooh, okay. So we kind of cleared off up here, so we can build a house up here. That's nice. Let's make a shovel now. But yeah, I do think that Braden Shen trade is pretty terrible. I don't dislike the idea of the Islanders adding, because they're in a playoff position. They're in a good spot right now. But just like the value is stupid. Like, why are you giving up that much for Braden Shen on a not like great contract either? Ooh, yeah. Mike Bartner crashing out. Poor guy. But I think the Islanders do end up making the playoffs. The Metro is a weird division where it's like very top heavy, but I'm also like not, there's no team in the Metro, and I say this as somebody who's a fan of a team in the Metro. There's no team in the Metro that I look at and I'm just, why did I do that? Where I look at them and I'm just like, yeah, they're the team that's going to dominate, other than Carolina. Like, I don't have confidence in the Penguins or the Islanders going into the playoffs. Like, not, I mean, obviously if they play each other, one of them has to win, but if they, you know, we're in a world where we have the 1v8 seeding, I would feel like both of them are pretty vulnerable to getting knocked off early. Let me pause. Let me reload. 15 minutes. 15 minutes until the deadline. Buyer's market. Sell, everyone. These prices are... Yes, empty netters. Completely agree. Unload your assets like you're Michael Jackson, baby. Absolutely. If you're a team that's on the bubble, sell. Sell. Man, Islanders Blues staying at the same hotel in San Jose, so they're just going down the hall. Yeah, still nothing. I still want to see what the Caps gave up for Timothy Liljegren, so that I can know how much to yell at Nepo Baby GM. Well, why can't I click? Clicking is bad. Clicking is hard. Ugh. So I'm going to stay on until about 3:30. I'll stay on a little bit after the deadline to see the trades trickle through. And if you guys like this, hit the buttons that let me know that you like it, because like I said, I might try and do like some evening streams in the future, just as the playoffs get closer, and then in the playoffs I'll probably do night streams, just like co-watching games, have those on. I do have to say, I love the playoffs so much more when my team isn't in them, even though I obviously want to have my team be in the playoffs and be cheering for them. It is much better for my stress when they're not in it. Watching playoff hockey when you have no rooting interest is the best thing in the world. When you have a rooting interest, though, it can make you want to claw your eyes out. Sharks have done nothing so far. Yeah, they didn't really have to. Like, I know I said, trade for a defenseman, trade for Dougie Hamilton. Like, it's fine if they just want to stay the course and hold on to their picks. They're going to have to do something at some point about the defense this offseason. Like, they need a number one guy. I know they have Dmitry Orlov, who I really like, obviously, former Cap, but they need a steady presence on the back end. Let me sleep. Sleep. Okay, I'll do this. Let's build another shovel. And let me know for future streams what you would like to see. If you want me to keep doing Minecraft, I can do Stardew Valley, Arc Raiders, NHL 26, other games. Let me know. Let me do that. Go to sleep. Because I know this has been a little bit of a rocky go, but that's fun. Sounds like Detroit Red Wings have emerged as a front runner for the St. Louis Blues with 17 minutes to go. Stevie Y, his nap is over. Let's see what he did. Sharks were really a pick away from shit. Oh my God. Play Geometry Dash. Ooh, I could do that. Imagine if the Sharks got Matthew Schaefer. God, that team would be a nuclear submarine. I think next time I'll play Geometry Dash, Jonah. But man, that would have been insane. And by the way, Matthew Schaefer is like, and it's insane how good he is. Like so young into his career. He's so impressive watching him. Like, defensemen just never come into the NHL and are just like that good from the jump. He's just like a different beast. He's gonna be good for a while. I am very convinced of that. Like, the Islanders are set with Schaefer. Like, that's the thing of all of the like recent number one picks in terms of like who I feel are definitely going to be good for a long time. Schaefer, I'm like 100% yes. Celebrini, I'm like 100% yes. And Bedard, I'm like 90% yes. Like, I don't know if Bedard is, and I think it's in part, I've said this before, due to the expectations, the generational label around him. But, like, there's just so many still questions. And, like, he just hasn't had that massive jump. Obviously, injuries been a huge issue. But, like, especially in the Olympics and like even before that, I watched Celebrini out there and I was just like, oh yeah, he's different. I watch Schaefer right now and I'm like, oh, that's just a different beast. Like he's gonna be like Quinn Hughes and Cale Makar, get your Norris trophies in the next few years, because after that it's gonna be Matthew Schaefer for a while. McMahon for a second. Wow. Braden McMahon for a second. Flyers are not moving Rasmus. Hold on. Flyers are not moving Rasmus Ristolainen. They did not get their price. Danny Briere, your mistake was having a price for Rasmus Ristolainen. Anything that you could get to get rid of him would have been fine. I get that the prices are inflated right now, but, like, you can't be holding firm on, like, we have to get good value for Rasmus Ristolainen. Oh, this is as high as his value is ever going to be. The most you can get for him is what you should be trading for him. Oh, God. Fucking Flyers. But Bobby McMahon for a second-round pick. Jay Frisch is right. Like, that would be a steal considering the prices we've seen today. But, like, Bobby McMahon should not be netting you a second-round pick. No moment is worse when you're like 12 years old and TSN starts cutting to Canadian gym for his conference on trade deadline day. I remember I used to call out sick. I used to call sick from school so I could stay home for trade deadline day. Still hoping for a miracle pull off of Robert Thomas-sized buzzer beater, a guy who actually moves the needle. He was talking about Red Wings and Falk. I don't know. I think Justin Falk this year is like the one of the few good players on the St. Louis Blues, so he moves the needle to me. All right, let's keep playing. We're gonna clear this off and build a little hidey hole. Not a hole, but an actual little house. While we wait for the last of the trades to come through. Appreciate everybody who has joined me so far. Appreciate you hanging out, being active in the chat, talking about the NHL. And if you do want me to keep streaming in the evenings while we watch games, especially in the playoffs and for the playoff push, just go ahead and tap that like button. Just little tap. You don't have to smack it. You don't have to hit it. You don't have to be forceful. What the hardest of being in Geometry Dash? God, I haven't played Geometry Dash in so long. I don't even remember. I am an old man as well, so I am already, as you can tell, like not the most dexterous. Like I used to play like real, like hardcore, like Counter-Strike, Dota, and stuff like that, and I am so fucking washed. Like it is unbelievable how washed I have become over the last few years, and especially now that I have a kid and like cannot play. Like the only game that I actually play nowadays is Arc Raiders, and that's just because Interception Club, nice. That's just because my wife kicks me out of the room when our son is going to sleep, and so I have to fill my time with something. Just forming a little outline here. That. Cool. We need more stone, actually. Let's go do some mining, and then we'll do some crafting. All right, we're under 10 minutes to go. Under 10 minutes to go. Let's really quick refresh. Let's take a look, see if there's been any updates. Very seller market. This is a loss for Briere. Yeah, Rono's a Flyers fan. He knows his stuff. This is a loss for Briere with a few teams showing interest. Him acquiring Yurchek. Will they really play Yurchek in the AHL? Yeah, like, why would you acquire Yurchek if you're not going to trade Ristolainen? And why are you holding for amount of price for Ristolainen, as I said? Anything new? No. Now, can't wait for some beat writers to defend the front office because Ristolainen has a contract for another season. Like, again, like, why are we acting like Rasmus Ristolainen is a guy that you have to hold on to? So I like to mine into a mountain, but I like to go lower. So let's go down. Ooh. I've fallen and I can't get up. I am all over the place. Gotta go as low as I can, but I don't want to go too low and be like, I want to be able to see where I'm building the house so I don't like risk getting lost. You know what I mean? Mushrooms are cool. Has there been any update to any of the trades that like have been rumored? Is Bobby McMahon actually getting traded, or do they just have the concept of a trade right now? Like, what percentage of a trade do you have? Is it an actual trade? We have 5 minutes left. Let's see. Don't think the Blues are done. Still a possibility of moving Falk. Perhaps Detroit. There's a lot of smoke in that regard. Let's just build. Let's just build in. a mine down here. Oh, well. Why did I do that? Ooh, this is a good spot. I like to find like a wall of stone just to kind of build in, and then start digging down. Oh, hold on. Sorry, my kid needs a diaper change. I'll be back. I got him. No, you're fine. Sorry about that, folks. The baby is back. Mommy needed to do some stuff. So he is back to give his thoughts on the trade deadline is here. It is. We have made it. It is 3:00. Fortunately, it looks like a boring trade deadline. Not for me, man. I saw my franchise defenseman get traded for not a whole lot. Ovechkin, unsure of his future in Washington. I don't know, man. I don't know if he's staying, if he's going. I don't know if this trade has anything to do with that. Still can't believe the Blues did. Or sorry, the Flyers didn't trade Ristolainen. Oh, yeah, there you go. And Canucks have a couple more moves waiting before the call. Yep, pencils down. Oh, good lord. Deadline is done. Pencils down. Let's see what trades trickle through here at the end. Let's see. Let's see the trades trickle through here at the end. What do we have? Panthers currently focused on Ovechkin for Line last minute. You want to see a guy throw himself out of a 10th-story window? Live on air. Panthers are currently focused on trying to re-sign Sergei Bobrovsky. Don't hate that for the Panthers, honestly. Like, you had a down year. 3 straight years of going to the finals plus Olympics. A lot of wear and tear on your guys. Reload, restock. You'll be back next year. Jeremy Rutherford says that Falk to the Red Wings might be happening. Canucks have at least one trade in the queue. Yeah, buddy. Yeah? What do you think? Ooh. Yeah, what do you think, bud? Who do you think the Blues are going to get back a good return for Justin Falk? Maybe we get an extension on this project. Interesting to see who the Canucks could be trading. I got it, buddy. Thank you for grabbing that. I'm gonna guess Jake DeBrusk is the last minute trade because he said he didn't want to be there for a rebuild, and I think he's still got some good value. Yeah, buddy. Here, hey, hold on. You want your squish book? Let me give you your squish book, buddy. Hold on. There you go. Wonder who the prospect the Blues got was. Ooh. I have a name, but there's no way. My immediate first thought was there's no way they got Sandin Pellikka. But today has been so crazy. It can't be him. It's got to be like a first plus like some mediocre prospect. Oh. Okay, well that's not what John Rutherford said. He said it seems like it's happening. Wondering who the Red Wings could have traded. A first, a third, and a prospect for Falk? Considering that's what they got for Braden Shen, that doesn't seem like a lot. But wouldn't surprise me. Sorry we're not doing Minecraft with me holding the boy, but let's see if there's been any updates because the trades will trickle in. I'm going to stay over for Bobby McMahon to the Kraken. Ooh. There was a bidding war for Bobby McMahon, and the team that, why would the Kraken add Bobby McMahon? We need another, kind of scorer, kind of two-way guy. For our, maybe make the playoffs and first round exit run this year. I don't get it. I don't get it for Seattle. Especially, again, going to depend on return. If they didn't give up anything to get him, then it's fine. If they gave up a second round pick for Bobby McMahon to do nothing in the playoffs, I don't know. Let's see. Let's see what happened. We still don't know what the Caps gave up for Timothy Liljegren, by the way. A second next year and a fourth in 2026 for Bobby McMahon. Good job, Toronto. Yeah, exactly. Grab another middle six winger to the Seattle Kraken. Got to get more of those 20-goal middle sixers. I'm sure this one's, if we just merge them all together like Voltron. We could turn them into, if we merge three of them, we could get one good scoring winger. Oh my god. I mean, it's not a terrible return. I mean, it's not a terrible price to pay, I should say, for the Seattle Kraken, but mother of God. Why are we doing that? Why are we doing this, Seattle? Gord Miller, Justin Falk to Detroit. Okay. Just first and a third for Justin Falk. Seattle with the middle 12. Yeah, the middle 12. Okay, I'm going to crash out. Not because of what Detroit gave up for Justin Falk. It's okay. Yeah, I know. You're upset too. That's the same price the Caps got for John Carlson. Who would you rather have, John Carlson or Justin Falk? God damn it. On a deadline where everybody and their mother paid out the nose, you got a conditional first and a third for the best defenseman in your franchise's history, who's still playing at a very high level at age 36. And I don't want to hear any of the expiring contract bull. Like, Anaheim has enough cap space, they can re-sign him. Good for Detroit. Making a push. Justin Falk's good. Helps them out. Area of need. Price isn't exorbitant. I mean, comparably. But, like, dear God. All right, let's see. By the way, look at this. By the way, I'm gonna show this in a second once I can get my son situated here. Look at this. This is the play of Justin Falk so far this year. Take a look at this. This advanced hockey stat cards. Take a look at this, and then I'm gonna go to earlier, from way back to this morning. These two guys got traded for the same return. I don't care that he's on an expiring deal. The age is wrong, by the way, but like, L-O effing L. Nepo baby GM. Nikita Tilapio has been paper signed. St. Louis gets Justin Hull also going to St. Louis. Cool. Flames acquire Ryan. The Flames are adding Ryan Strome from Anaheim. Cool. By the way, what did Timothy Liljegren fetch? We still don't know this. So this is what I'm talking about. Imagine if again, I don't mean to harp on this too much as like, you know, making it about the Caps, but like if you were a smart GM, you would just be like, I'm not going to trade John Carlson unless I get a really good return. And somebody will be desperate enough to give you more than a first and a third. It's insane to me. It's insane to me that it's just a first and a third. It could have been a first plus a good prospect. Yeah, I agree, buddy. Our Nepo baby GM is terrible. He's not terrible. I shouldn't say that, but like, dear God. Like, good for the Blues. The Blues got a lot. They got, what, 2 firsts and a third? Oh, don't question the Yzer plan. A lot of questions on the Yzer plan. Jonathan Drouin did get traded as part of the Islanders' Braden Shed trade. Always, as is tradition, he had to get traded. Ryan Strome for a 7th round pick. Fine. Cool. Sweet. Sick. Exciting day. Rangers didn't trade Vinny Trocheck. No trade for AJ Greer. Interesting. I'm really surprised that Rangers didn't trade Trocheck. Sellers market. Like, really surprising on that. All right, so what do y'all think? Who won the trade deadline today? For me, I think the Blues did really well. Don't question the Iser plan. Just take a look at the top-down hockey here. Readjusted Falk to Detroit through the roster builder, assuming Jacob Bernard Docker is the player that will be taken out of the lineup. Playoff odds down 7%. Offensive drag who will harm Detroit's offensive play driving. Yeah. You gave up a first and a third for that. Iser plan. Wild did do very well. I love the year check for Bobby Brink trade. Oh, Nyquist. Giving us a little hopium. It's okay. It's fine, buddy. Sorry, baby is unhappy. He might be. All right. I'm going to be logging off in a few minutes, y'all. Thank you for joining. I do think that the Wild and Blues did great today. Don't like what the Red Wings did. Don't like what the Islanders did. Don't like what the Kraken did. Thought Dallas would be decent as well. They won't be the best. Dallas is the second or third best team in the West. It's Colorado, then Dallas or Minnesota, in my opinion. And then Edmonton is somehow gonna be, because the Pacific is, Dookie. They're gonna be in the Western Conference Finals. Even though they don't have a goaltender or one good defenseman, but yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see, and I still don't know what the trade was for Timothy Liljegren. John Carlson went from one Strome brother to another, then they traded him. They traded the Strome. Do we know yet what Timothy Liljegren fetched in return from the Caps? Or are they waiting until the stream ends to announce it because they know I'm about to drag them? Oh yeah, Eric Holla didn't get traded. Also interesting. A lot of these teams who had these middle six forwards and didn't trade them, I don't know why you were so hesitant. I don't know why. I don't know why the Flyers were so insistent on getting their price for Rasmus Ristolainen. Seller's market. Love your videos. I'm going to head out to work. Third shift, stayed up. Hoping the Habs would do something. Oh, awesome. Yeah, sorry the Habs didn't do anything. But honestly, they're still in a pretty good position. Really strong team. And I don't mind them not making a move. They're already very strong, and they've got a young core. So if they didn't, have a price that they like for a player, good for them. Not making a move just to make a move. So have a good one. What else? At least his kid, Vinny Trocheck, Leo Stannis hockey team. Yeah, I mean, interesting deadline. Not terrible. Everybody's acting like this was a terrible deadline and nothing happened, but big names got moved before the deadline. Panarin, I think you count that as part of the deadline. Carlson is obviously a huge one. Braden Shen's a big name. Justin Falk's a big name. I think it was definitely a seller's market, and I think that I don't think that there's any trade that I think really drastically impacted a team's Stanley Cup chances. I don't think that there's anybody who I didn't think was a contender before who made a trade, and now I think that they are one. So if you watched my video on who are the actual Stanley Cup contenders, it's still the same teams. Colorado, Dallas, Utah, Tampa, and the Caps. Although the Caps now actually would not be, because they traded away John Carlson. So they would be a piece away that they do not have. And they're not going to make the playoffs anyway, so it doesn't matter. But the West is going to be an absolute bloodbath, and I can't wait to watch some of those games out west. But with that being said, I think I am going to head off. Thank you, everybody, for joining. Yep, baby is getting tired, needs a nap. So thank you to everybody who came out and supported and joined. Like I said before, hit the like, hit the subscribe. drop a comment letting me know if you want to see more of these, especially as the playoffs come along. I might do some more watch along night streams. But thank you all for coming out and supporting me. I really do appreciate it. I will see you all soon. Next video will be a Cancel the Rangers video. And I will also do a little meme recap of the trade deadline. So thank you all.